Hi, Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to everyone. Welcome to my presentation. First of all, let me thank you for watching this video. My name is Muhammad Ebtt3103. I will present about innovation and technology management. Okay, so we go to introduction first. Okay, innovation is essential for the growth of any company, but that a very generic way of describing innovation. To successfully implement innovation, you need to know exactly what makes an innovative organization as well as how it contributes to its growth. For the majority of us, innovation is about seeking an approach to blue sky thinking. But that's a far too cliche definition to go by. What business people don't know is that creativity is challenging to achieve. It requires investment of resources to fulfill the needs of innovative management in organization. Okay, definition of innovation. Innovation is a diverse activity in laboratories and factory floors, university and coffee shop, or even over a beer after work. People are looking for better way to do things. There is no monopoly on creative stuff. However, we do need to be careful because there is a big difference between a random brainstorm and concert effort. Okay, now type of basic innovation. As a four. First is basic research. This is a type of work done at university and some R&D lab. There is not a clearly defined outcome. The point is to discover more about how things work. Some say that basic research is not innovation because it does not necessarily result in a new product or service. But I disagree. It would not be tough to argue that people like Einstein or Watson and Crick we are not innovative. They revolution their field. Moreover, basic research pay huge dividend in the long term, and it's difficult to imagine our modern world without discovery, which seems useless at the time. Okay. Second, sustaining innovation. This is a type of innovation that Apple excel at, where there is a clearly defined problem and a reasonable good understanding of how to solve it. Okay, third, disruptive innovation. Clayton Christensen introduced the concept of disruptive innovation in his classic book, The Innovator Dilemma. This tends to be new approach to all product and service. I have referred to disruptive innovation in the past as crappy innovation because it tends to perform poorly on previously defined parameters. Okay, next, last, breadth-tough innovation. Thomas Kuhn called this revolutionary sign because it involves a paradigm shift. In this case, the problem is well defined, but the path to the solution is unclear, usually because those involved in the domain have hit a wall. Transistor and the discovery of the success of DNA are both good examples of breadth-tough innovation. Okay, 4 sections, with each section depicting a case representing the 4 types of innovation. Okay, first, breadth-tough. Okay. Breadth-tough allows discrete step change in performance, technology and value provided to user. A breadth-tough innovation is what most people think of when they think of innovation. Something new, bold and way ahead of the next best thing. Additional, a breadth-tough product often combines the functioning of several different products all into one. This is how I would categorize many of Apple products during the Steve Jobs era, especially the iPhone. When the iPhone came out, its simplicity, beauty, power, functionality and ease of use put every other phone on the market to shame. Sure, there were a multitude of phones that could technically do many things that the iPhone could. When it came out, I had a Palm Trio which was technically able to play movie, but they had to be formatted perfectly in order to work. It could also play music, I could surf the internet and place phone call, but nothing even come close to refinement of doing each of these tasks on the iPhone. Okay. A lot of people like to dream about that fit into this category. Would not be great if you or I had come with something like the iPhone. Or another example is the Nest market. It's the Nest thermostat, sorry. This is represent a large improvement over thermostat on the market, and they had sale to prove it. But true be told, this kind of idea are actually very difficult to achieve for startup and even quite hard for big companies to create. There are several reasons this type of product are difficult to create, such as lack of resource, lack of laser like focus necessary to achieve a breakthrough, lack of a detailed understanding of end user, lack of required technical competency. With these hurdles in front of you, it can daunting to attempt to come up with a breakthrough idea, let alone actually create. But by turning the above point around, anything is possible. For example, consider the following as the best way to a breakthrough innovation. First, access to resource, laser light focus, and the right technical competency. Okay, next we go to sustaining. Sustaining incremental value gain over existing solution. Okay, sustaining idea have to do with improving the current product by developing generation 2, 3, 4 and 5 and so on until the product reach the end of its life cycle. Normally, large companies are very good at creating sustaining innovation because their resource, business process and culture are set up in a way to enable sustaining effort. Typical sustaining effort include the following. Features, fixed edition, mass next generation product will come with a handful of fixed and or new features that address previous grips with the first generation product. Okay, second, cost reduction. As sale volume grow for a product, the cost of purchasing raw material for the product decline in addition to design enhancement that simplify the product or enable it to use less expensive material. Okay, third, product line expansion. At launch, most new product don't have a full suite of product to meet each end use segment needs. As a fit for that company will fill out their product line by offering additional size, colors, and so on. Okay. Third, new market. Existing product applied in a new way for previous unrelated customer. A lot manager think of new market in terms of geography such as entering an emerging market like India or China. While that can be highly valuable, I like to think of new market innovation in terms of use case. New market innovation refers to applying current product in a new way and sometimes even for a different segment for customer. The classic example often cited in Arm & Hammer baking soda. The primary use for baking soda is as a leavening agent for dough when baking bread. However, after a while of being in the market, Arm & Hammer discovered a trend among their customers. Use baking soda as deodorant. People were put an open container of baking soda in their fridge, simplify to neutralize any odors that may come from food that were going stale. This new use case from and the company start marketing baking soda as multi-purpose product rather than for use in baking only. The new marketing campaign basically mark their introduction of baking soda to a new market with all jobs to be done. Okay, next and last, disruptive. Simple, easy to use product intended for the mass at a much lower cost. You may have heard business professionals use the term disruptive innovation before. This fine example of business buzzwords is often used because the natural definition of the two words are complementary by themselves. But for others who are familiar with a Harvard Business School, Professor Clayton Christensen and his work, this term has very specific and insightful meaning. The background is this concept was birthed out of years research by Christensen, who, while obtaining a PhD, set out to answer the question, why do successful firms fail? His conclusion was essentially the idea that startups are able to gain significant market acceptance for their product through simplifying the user experience, lowering the cost and reducing the number of features in product to a degree that allow a large group of consumers to adopt the product. The key thing to keep in mind when coming up with this disruptive innovation idea include look up for competitors that have overserved their customer to the point where the solution is far more advanced. Second, focus on one job to be done rather than several. Disruptive innovation is all about simplification and removal, the polar opposite of breakthrough innovation. Focus on making the solution the very best when it comes to doing the one thing for your customer. Third, remove as much cost as possible to make the end price affordable for mass users. This often includes more than product change, and it can mean removing middlemen such as distributor, retailer, who always add another successive layer of price burden to the product as it goes through the channel. Okay. Lastly, observe the industry trend regarding vertical integration. Distributive innovation is usually most successful done during time of vertical disintegration. Okay. Next, I will tell you the type of innovation that I target for my organization or business. So I will choose disruptive innovation. There are several reasons why established companies tend to avoid disruptive innovation. At least in the beginning, a cheaper product generally means both lower profit margin and a smaller market segment. Truly innovating product may also be inconsistent with established branding and advertising, or otherwise distract from a sale of proven product. By focusing on the more lucrative mainstream market, they expose share of the bottom market to new idea and new competition. Okay, innovation change consumerism. New product and business model can have a product impact on established practice and market. This disruptive innovation of the past include cell phone versus landline, discount outlet versus full service retailer, or online learning versus physical brick and mortar school. Another good example is the rising popularity of e-cigarette versus tobacco and related products such as e-juice that allow individual customization. There are now over 2,750,000 e-cigarette used in the US. Okay, benefit that I get when I choose disruptive innovation is disruptive innovation that take a share of the market, can deliver growth opportunities to company, adapt to leading the new trend. It can benefit both competition and consumer by providing better, cheaper and product and more accessibility service. It allows smaller companies and startups to compete with corporate enterprise by establishing and growing new market segment of their own. New idea can be patented and protected as intellectual property. In many cases, big business will make lucrative deal or offer huge cash sum to incorporate this innovation startup into their own business model. Okay. A company can also benefit in a number of ways through creating and sustaining a system that look for disruptive innovation. Boost employee and customer feedback can generate new ideas. Employee may have idea on better process or technology that will increase efficiency. Consumer can provide insight into what various markets are looking for. Okay. Lastly, I will tell you about conclusion. Conclusion is innovation can be a confusing topic because there are so many different kind of innovation out there and everyone seems to use the term differently. Although you often hear about innovation in terms of the technology, although it's true the technological innovation has been and will likely continue to be. The most obvious form of innovation is come in variety of other forms too. Most innovation are smaller, gradual improvement on an existing product, produce and service, while some innovation can be used groundbreaking technology innovation or business model that transform industries. Because the environment and the needs of your customer are constantly changing, you need to be able to improve different areas of your business to solve amazing problems and to keep creating new value for your customer. Thus, knowing what type of innovation there are for organization to pursue can help you discover the one that are most suitable for your business. Understand and focusing on the most potential ones not only helps your respond to the changing needs, but also allow you to improve your ability to grow the business. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Bye.